I'm Edie Mitko. I was born and raised in Salt Lake City, and I was attached to the book because I was the director of Asian Affairs, and Carol Edison thought I would be a good one to do Asian foodways.
And I'm Jean Tokuda Irwin. I was born in Yokohama and raised in Japan and came to the States as a teenager. And I wrote the piece on the Nikkei luncheons, which are luncheons for older Japanese that take place in non-pandemic times about once a month. And we honor the ones that are, some of them now in their 90s and 100s. Huh?
I'm Brock Cheney, and I wrote a book about Mormon pioneer food. It's called Plain But Wholesome. And after that book came out, they asked me to write a short chapter for this book just about the Mormon pioneer aspect of food in Utah.
What we made today was sushi. And rice is one of those ingredients that after World War II, when there were Japanese prisoners of war in America, when they were sent back home, they were very healthy looking and robust. And so the military asked them, did they feed you? And they said no. And they couldn't understand it because they weren't emaciated. What they hadn't been given was rice. So it's such a inherent part of their psyche and their belief system and everything that if you're going to feed somebody, you better give them some rice. And I was mentioning earlier the importance of cooking and soaking the rice, measuring it and washing it and washing it and washing it until the water is clear. And it takes a while because it's kind of cloudy. And then you do the cooking. Then while it's hot, you put it in a vessel like this. This is a handai, a wooden vessel that absorbs some of the water. And it wouldn't absorb the water if it were in a metal or a plastic kind of container. And then I used rice wine vinegar and some sugar and sea salt. And then you cook it until the sugar is totally dissolved. And I make a lot of this and just keep it like in a quart jar, because it's great to make a salad dressing really quick with it. Add a little oil and lemon juice or yuzu, which is a Japanese citrus.
So important to note here is the way you're cutting the rice rather than smashing.
Mm-hmm. The advanced preparation that takes a while is all of this stuff. This is beni shoga, which is a red pickled ginger. It has kind of a bitey, salty. It doesn't have the sweetness to it. This is just carrots that I cooked in a little solution of shoyu and a little bit of sugar, or mirin. I used mirin this time. And just so that they're a little bit tender but not mushy. And this is the tofu packets that you can take sushi rice and stuff into these little tofu envelopes that have been soaked and braised in shoyu and a little bit of mirin and sometimes a little sugar. And this is little shrimps. And these are tiny little slivers of nori, or the Japanese seaweed, that we'll sprinkle on top. This is egg made into a little omelet and sliced really thin. These are slivered snow peas that I blanched to give it a brighter green color. And these are shiitake mushrooms. And again, this was cooked with soy sauce and a little sugar and a little salt. And then this is dried kampyo that looks like this. And they take it out the inside of a gourd, and the strips may be this long. And you cook it enough so that it has a bite to it, but isn't mushy. And then I just took scissors and cut it up. So now we're gonna start adding the ingredients. And I kind of do it by sight when I think there's enough green. And I try not to stir it a lot. And add the mushrooms. So you've got your brown. And this time we have a few more in the earth tones. So I'm adding the kampyo and But Brock brought this shrimp. I've not put shrimp in it, but I like shrimp. Well, this is the kind of thing, you know, like, it's kind of like potato salad.
Right.
What's the recipe for potato salad? It depends on where you're from. If you're from Germany, it's got a vinegar base. You know, some people put eggs in it, some people put pickles. But, you know, anybody can make potato salad the way they want it. This is the same thing. You put whatever it is that floats your boat, you know. Sometimes I put fresh peas in this. So it ends up being kind of like a confetti. The last thing you would do, and I sometimes use this. This is furikake, and it comes in a bazillion different flavors. It's always got nori, the seaweed, and this one happens to have little bits of tamago, and it may have sesame seeds. So I'll put these on now, and then you guys can give it a whirl.
That looks so artistic, Jean. Beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Well, again, the appearance of food is really important, which is why I've got the green and the bright red and the yellow. And a classic reason, Japanese feel that when you eat, you need to feed the eye and the stomach and the soul. I hope people try all the recipes in this book, because there's some really fun ones, and the range of recipes is everything from tamales and you had some kind of what? Was it a bread or no? What was your recipe?
Well, I think there might have been a couple. There was probably one for lumpy dick. That's
okay.
Sort of a pudding or porridge that you make with wheat flour.
Most important, though, is that we do want you to look at the book and realize how diverse Utah really is.
Absolutely.
Just don't mash the rice.
Don't mash the rice. Yeah.